playing as well as they are, you will not want to miss seeing their next home game in person. Baltimore comes to town for the first time to Metro Stadium. It's the next New York night home game. Call 1-800-GO-KNIGHTS. Get your tickets now. Or you can listen live here. Oh, look at Parkeet Scholl! This is ridiculous! That is another touchdown! Parkeet Scholl! I'm speechless. I can't believe this guy. I mean, look at the burst of speed at the second level.
4 down linemen for Louisville in what appears to be a 4-2-5 set. Coleman back to pass. Coleman pump fake, and then a sack. Rick O'Reilly with the big play to force the Houston punter on the field for the first time tonight. And for O'Reilly, that's sack number 7 on the season. O'Reilly, a monster on the inside. Big play there for the Louisville defense.
First and 10 of the 26, Marconi dropping the throw. And Marconi against a late blitz will go deep down the field, and that one is caught! Pass Grayson Abarazzo. Shigeki can't catch him. It's a Maurer touchdown. The 3rd touchdown for Abarazzo in the game. And it just looked like the Legend defense kind of got tangled up. And Grayson went for the pick, and he over pursued.
That was just an outstanding throw by Rocco. I mean, he's 6'5", I believe. Yeah, he's 6'5", 225, long, rangy, strong, quick arm.
Rastelli back to pass. Rastelli going to the end zone. Pass is caught for a touchdown. Kendall Gilbert, and Baltimore's on the board. Give me some of that crab call. Baltimore cuts into their early deficit. Rastelli's got 6 touchdowns and no picks in the last 6 quarters of action. 2nd and 2 at the 40. Christensen will pass again. They are staying away from Kim. That ball, oh, it's belted up in the air, and Nick Nitro picked it off. That is tremendous defensive effort. Who dove in front of that pass? That was a Qantas Shine, who dove in front of the pass and knocked the ball up in the air. That was one of the best defensive plays I've seen in a long time out of a Qantas Shine. A.J. Levy, 6 seasons, all with Sioux Falls, the strong safety number 42. Chris Dodd, free safety in his 3rd season, wears number 49. Alex Parker and Nick Fargo, the linebackers, 91 and 92 respectively, as Rahman steps up in the pocket. Rahman gonna air it out deep, and Thomas Rahman's pass intercepted off the deflection by A.J. Levy. What a play by the veteran.
Well, you mentioned it, Cam. Levy and Dodd, probably the best safety combo here in the SFL. And Levy, a longtime veteran leader of this defense, comes away with his 6th interception.
So 4 receiver set here on 3rd down and goal. I guess this won't be a run. Christensen in the gun, looking towards the end zone, firing into the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. The Pride extend their lead.
What a throw by Christensen again. Has all day to throw and a post route. And that one, I mean, it's not bad coverage by Chappelle. It's just a perfect throw and a great route by Ken.
3rd down and 2 from the 12. Go Knights rings throughout Metro Stadium. St. Clair to pass. St. Clair to the end zone. Intercepted. Oh no. Joe Lynn picked it off. You gotta be kidding me. And 1 first down will give the Crabs yet another 1-possession victory over New York. 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line. Hand off to Overstreet, right side. Overstreet makes 1 man miss, and then another. And here goes Overstreet off to the races. Down the sideline, 20. He will be not tackled, and he scores again. 17th touchdown for David Overstreet, and Louisville has scored 19 straight points. And Overstreet is checking on the pulse of Oklahoma City.
We welcome you to Raleigh, North Carolina. The city is buzzing here tonight, Demond, and it's because the Baltimore Vultures are in town to take on the Carolina Skyhawks, one of the best rivalries the Simulation Football League has to offer. Week 12 SFL action brings myself, Andy Hamilton, along with the Hall of Famer Demond Simeon to town. Demond, these teams have met 7 times before tonight. Baltimore taking the chunk of those, 5 wins to only 2 for the Skyhawks, but if there was ever a night to do it for Carolina, that night is tonight.
You're absolutely right, Andy. Carolina sits 2 games behind Baltimore. A win tonight will most definitely give their strength of victory an extreme boost here in the SFL. And guess what? The tickets were hot. They were hard to come by. They were expensive of all outdoors, if I must say. That is because the Baltimore Vultures are in town. This team is very, very hot, and they're looking to repeat themselves as champions here in the SFL. But there's a scary team in town, and that is the Carolina Skyhawks. With those dynamic duos in the backfield, with Hanzo and McBride, they could probably put a stop to the run of the Vultures here.
Ike McBride and Juan, Mississippi on stats for us tonight. Baltimore coming in with the top defense in the league, second best offense in the league. Carolina going to be up against it tonight, and we'll see if the Skyhawks have a little bit of magic up their sleeve coming out of that Atlantic Division. Baltimore leads the division at 8-1. DC currently on top of Carolina, but it's all Skyhawks here tonight. Ball on the tee. Baltimore will get the first kickoff to start tonight's game. They are wearing all white. Carolina in blue with the gray pants. And we are underway for Week 12 SFL action. Ivory Irvin returning off his goal line out across the 20, still on his feet to the 27. And that is where Baltimore will bring this offense out. Jack Wigmore leads the way, Demond.
You're absolutely right. Jack Wigmore is one of the most dynamic quarterbacks here in the SFL, Andy. I mean, he's always at the top of the charts with high touchdowns and low interception ratios. Let's see if he can come out clean here tonight versus this Skyhawks defense.
Funny enough, the quarterback on top of him in completions in the SFL is Matt South himself, who's on the other side tonight. Handoff right up the middle to start. This one goes nowhere. A 1-yard pickup right up the gut.
Yeah, they go to the big fella, T-Roy Gaines, up the middle. It's nice to see Baltimore getting him started early. Normally, they start off with Warren Murray to get things going. But T-Roy, a former running back of himself who dominated the SFL some years back, turned himself into a fullback and has been a dynamic blocking force for Wigmore and Warren Murray.
Nickel look here out of Carolina, trying to defend this high-flying Baltimore Vulture offense. Wigmore to throw for the first time tonight, flips out to Murray. Murray spins off one, jukes another. Murray picks up 8.
You know, Andy Hamilton, that spin move there is very, very beautiful to watch from Warren Murray. A lot of people talk about BDG Hollywood in this spin move. I had Warren Murray on the Houston Hyenas back in the day, and Warren Murray was fantastic at that spin move, as we just saw.
And that's what Carolina's going to be up against all night is Warren Murray and the run game, but the pass game as well. They give Murray stretch left, plenty of room. Murray first down and more across midfield, fumbles the football. It's still on the ground, and Carolina, no, who's on top of it? I think Baltimore got back on it.
That was probably one of the most craziest plays that I've seen. Now, Murray has had some issues with fumbling in the past when he was with Houston. Also, look at here. No one could seem to get their hands on the ball. All these blue shirts and no one could jump on it. I mean, come on, Carolina. You got to get on the ball there.
Baltimore's center, Robert Clayton, got all the way down the field and got his mitts on the ball that seemed to be covered in olive oil down there at the 44. Baltimore retains possession. Run right up the gut. Murray, a yard there, nothing more. Brought down right at the line to gain by DJ Majesty.
Yeah, DJ Majesty is basically a gladiator here in the SFL. He's been around several teams or so in this league, but man, seems like he found a home here in Carolina. He has had several stints here, and he's just a beast on that defensive line for the Skyhawks.
Give up the middle, Gaines with a little bit of room, and he gains 8, 3rd and a yard upcoming.
Big number 34 gets the ball, then he's a full head of steam running downhill. You may want to get off the tracks when the train is coming through.
Yeah, and you said it. Gaines, a good running back in the past, moved to fullback. The Baltimore Vultures were very appreciative of that out of their guy, and now they're paying him off with some runs.
I mean, he's a great individual, but most of all, he's a team player.
They go back to Murray here. Murray not going to get the first down. Cut down right there at the line to gain by Shravan Prasad. 4th and a yard.
Here's a statistic here for you, Andy Hamilton. We have not seen a single pass outside of the dump off to Warren Murray by the Baltimore Vultures. It was basically all runs going to Murray and T.R. Gaines early here.
4th and a yard. F-wing Jokers is out. They like to run the screen out of this formation. From the 34-yard line, do they dare snap the ball? Play clock down to 10. Baltimore and Wigmore trying to use that play clock and the hard count to draw Carolina off sides. They do not. They'll have to burn a timeout.
Yeah, Wigmore was most definitely putting emphasis on that hard count there. You can see his body moving as he's saying hut, 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 and give kudos to Carolina for not jumping. Staying disciplined there.
Yeah, and at home, that's something that Carolina's going to need to do is play clean football tonight.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I'm not sure if Baltimore's going to go for a field goal here. It looks like they are lining up for a field goal attempt here by the Shark.
Shark Tarkington, 21 of 22 this season, 95%, third most field goals and attempts in the SFL. They'll line him up here from about 51 yards. A little bit of a low snap. That's blocked! Carolina blocks the kick, and they will fall on top of it. The block coming right up the gut was by Danny Dorito.
And Danny Dorito came away with the block. I want to say Danny Dorito also jumped on it to make the recovery as well. And Carolina takes over at the 44. Talk about getting pressure right up the middle on the special teams, especially on that long snapper. Oh, man, outstanding special teams play by Carolina.
And Matt South will then lead the offensive unit out to take on this Vultures defense for the first time tonight, starting with really good field position at their own 44. South quick throw, corner out, caught. First down and more, breaking a tackle, and finally tackled out of bounds there at the 35. That catch made on the outside, the tight end Vince DeSantis.
Vince DeSantis has been making a name for himself this season here in the SFL. I mean, he has been putting on a show for the past couple of games or so, especially early on in the season. He was getting a lot of targets from that tight end spot.
Made the most of that one there. The broken tackle after the catch was more impressive than the route there, Damon.
Yeah, picked up the first down. Not only that, gets on the other side of the field into Baltimore territory. Is now down at Baltimore 35-yard line on that reception by DeSantis.
Yeah, it just took one play to flip the field. Did Matt South in this offense. 8-year veteran will take a snap and look to throw for the second time tonight. Oh, and a whole crowd of Vultures, and he is able to find Chase Earl.
He found his number one guy there on that back end post across the middle. They had two guys on the post route, the inside receiver of her, and then also Chase Earl there, who comes away with that reception. Now down to Baltimore's 21.
Earl played so many seasons in Louisiana, finds his way to Carolina, makes an impact there, and moves the chains again to the 21. South gonna throw again. South looking for the end zone, and he paid the price there. Intercepted, coming back the other way. Baltimore with a convoy, and that interception from Ben Stack and Paper sets them up at the 37.
Yeah, Ben Stack and Paper set on that route. He read the entire route there. Take a look at it here on the instant replay, Andy Hamilton. He's watching it. He's watching Heath McDaniel on that post, and he said, okay, I'm sitting right on top of it here. I can make a play here. Just let me get my athletic ability and jump right in front of the ball. And Harish Prasad brings down the tackle, saving touchdown there on Ben Stack and Paper.
So Baltimore gets the ball back, and we'll see what this Carolina defense can do this time around. Two backs in the backfield. Wigmore to throw for the second time tonight. Fires down the seam. Tipped and picked off right back the other way. Oh, back and forth we go in Raleigh. That interception by Shravan Prasad.
I've lost the words there, Andy Hamilton. Not sure what Wigmore saw there on this particular play there, because that receiver was not open, if you ask me. Around that vicinity, I mean, there's a couple of blue shirts there, and he just basically threw that in the enemy's territory. Bounce, tip pass there, interception, back-to-back interceptions. Reminds me of Houston and London yesterday.
Now we're set up at the 41-yard line for Carolina in this offense to retake over again. South right back out after the interception. 2 in the backfield. Haven't heard from Ike McBride tonight. We'll hear from her right now. Right up the gut. McBride picks up 6.
Nice move there by McBride, and I'm sure if you saw it, Andy, but soon she got it right there in the open space there. She juked to the left, found some open daylight to pick up that 6-yard gain.
Skippy with the super chat says, nice catch, Shravan. And Shravan has more catches than Harish tonight so far. Damon, we haven't heard from number 89 tonight at all, but I'm sure Carolina is looking for a team win. They don't mind how they get it. Run right up the middle. Hattori Hanzo gets close to a first down at the 31.
Yeah, this Carolina team, Andy Hampton, as you stated, I mean, has been in some close games this season, you know. And one thing about Carolina is that they got to find a way to win ball games, you know, in the second half. They'll be up big on teams in the first half, and then in the second half, they'll just collapse. The past results of games, I mean, they lost 10, 20, 31, 36. In that game versus Arizona, just came up short by 5 points.
Ike McBride not going to get there on third down. That tackle made there. Frank Smith plugged the hole quickly.
Yeah, Frank Smith coming up from that inside linebacker spot there to clog that middle, stopping it right there for 4th and 1. Now Carolina have to settle for a field goal here. Let's see if Baltimore can redeem themselves and get a block of themselves.
Malone Brown on the second-year kicker to try and add 3 to put Carolina out in front here at home. Snap, hold down. Brown gets his foot into it, and this one got it from 48.
That ball looked like it had another 5 yards on it. Andy, nice kick there by Brown.
Well, I tell you what, Demond, he's got a lot of let me word this carefully. He's got a lot of power potentially behind how much weight he's got on him. 260 pounds, 5'10", and he used all of it to put that one through the uprights.
Yeah, he sure did. A little guy, big body. My goodness, man. I mean, is he like squatting all day long? Like, look at the legs on this dude.
Well, he's bigger than every linebacker on Carolina's roster in terms of weight. So you better watch out on the kickoffs, Ivory Irvin. You don't want him to lean into you.
Exactly.
Irvin returns here out across the 20. Irvin finally brought down there at the 24-yard line. Well, aerial coverage of tonight's game brought to you by Dags Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. Had a beautiful drone shot to open up tonight. Whoever picked that one out did a really good job.
Yeah, I think I know who that guy is.
I don't. No clue. 4 receivers wide. Wigmore throws to the outside. Caught. Ivory Irvin picks up 6. Escorted out of bounds.
Nice pass there by Wigmore to get himself going after that interception. Putting it behind you in the last possession. Go ahead and refocus, get the boys going. Nice out route there to Ivory Irvin. One thing about Ivory Irvin, he runs a great out route, but he runs the most beautiful post routes and fades here in the SFL as well. So you got to be out there, keep your head on the swivel, that corner and that free safety on that side.
Tight end flexed out here. 4-3 look out of Carolina. Deep drop from Wigmore. Going for the Z deep post, and it's picked off. Carolina was prepared for that one. Coming back the other way, Monte Wyatt. He just checked into the chat, and he just checked into the game with a pick.
Looks like Carolina was in a cover 4 defensive set here. Andy Hamilton, take a look at Wyatt, the free safety playing that cover 4 back end spot there, right over the top of Ivory Irvin. As I just mentioned, he loves to run a beautiful post route, and unfortunately, Wyatt was there to take it away from him. That's 2 interceptions for Jack Wigmore on back-to-back possessions.
And in the first quarter here at home, the Skyhawks out in front and have the football. Again, great field position. Can they take advantage? First down from the 47. South, 5-step drop, pressure closing in, unloads. That one's caught on the right side. DeSantis, his second grab of the night.
Yeah, nice grab there by DeSantis, the tight end, with 2 receptions on back-to-back possessions there. He has more receiving yards than the entire receiving group outside of himself.
Took 2 guys to bring him down over there, too.
Andy Hamilton, the last game, previous game, Baltimore versus Arizona, Wigmore, not a single interception, and he has 2 already tonight here in the first quarter.
3-3 look here out of Baltimore. 2 backs in the backfield 3 receivers wide. Quick run right up the gut. Ike McBride, plenty of room. I was just about to say, Damon, the 3-3 is susceptible to the run at times.
Yes, it is. I'm one of those guys who basically sees the same thing that you just spoke of. I'm sorry. I'm so used to working.
Whoa, hey, hey, I'll take that. Thank you so much. Wow.
Andy Hamilton, sorry about that, sir. But yeah.
What a compliment. Man, that might have been the nicest mistake you could ever make, Damon. I'll take it. McBride up the gut again, and she's close, but not quite there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Carolina should most definitely hand the ball either right back off to Ike McBride here to go ahead and pick up the 3rd down conversion, or hand it off to the big fullback, Hanzo, who loves to run forward, man. And that dude there has a big body, and he know how to run people over.
Yeah, now 3rd and inches. This is exactly where you want to be if you're Carolina. Although they'll split Hanzo and McBride out here to the 2 sides, both of them averaging more than an inch per carry. They will throw, though. This flip outside caught one-handed. Xavier Solomon, 1st down to the 12.
Xavier Solomon on that tight end swing strong. Andy Hamilton comes wide open. A lot of times that number 2 tight end becomes forgotten about, and those linebackers basically bail out on the guy and like, he's not going to be active, he's not going to make the catch. And every time that tight end number 2 is wide open and making big catches like that for a 1st down.
I think everyone in the building thought run. South fires wide open, caught, touchdown. He'll waltz in. Harish Prasad, 1st catch and a touchdown. 1 of 1, 6 for 89.
Yeah, there it is. As you spoken earlier, we have not called Harish Prasad's name, but here it is. Wide open, right at the 4 or 5 yard line on an out route, picks up the 1st down and also the touchdown to go right along with it. Now Carolina is up 9-0 over the Baltimore Vultures.
Man, oh man, what a 1st quarter from the Skyhawks. They did not hesitate, Damon. They did not fluster against this team so far. That's exactly what you need against a team like this, Damon. You've taken down, as an owner, as a coach, plenty of heavyweights. I would venture to say that the Baltimore Vultures are a heavyweight, and early in the game, you can't get flustered.
You're right, but I would put Baltimore in that super heavyweight category because this is a very dangerous team, and they're hard to beat. And I'm going to put this out there live. Houston Hyenas, Houston Headhunters, has never beaten the Baltimore Crabs or Vultures. Letting that be known, that's how good this team, or I'm not going to say team, that's how good the franchise is. Because it starts from the top, although the players on the field making the plays as well, that franchise is probably one of the best here in this league, and they do a great job with scouting and game planning.
Irvin on the return, only gets out to the 22. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game all into one. Team strategies are executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, it's football for everyone. Well, Damon, a 10-point hole is nothing for Baltimore. They are prepared for this. They are not flustering either. Wigmore on 1st down, fires deep down the middle, tipped up, almost picked off again.
Wyatt almost came away with his 2nd INT of the night, and I'm telling you, the roof would have came off. Although, Andy Hamilton, there is no roof on this building, but the roof would have came off this thing if he would have made that interception.
Yeah, as a former Carolina Skyhawk, it does feel at moments like things just go against this team in blue and red, but tonight things are going all for them so far.
Yeah,
see if that trend continues. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, I'm sorry to cut you off. You were still talking. I thought you was clearing up there. And the chats, they're saying run the ball. On that first drive, what did we see Baltimore do? Run the ball, and they only passed the ball once on that drive when they set up for the field goal attempt that was unfortunately blocked by Carolina there. And here's another wobbled pass, and Prasad put his chest right in the middle. Put his helmet right in the middle of Irvin's chest there. My goodness, he took a shot.
That brings up 3rd and 10. Baltimore on the edge of maybe going 3 and out right here. Down 10 to Carolina. Wigmore's QBR so far tonight, a 2.8. 2 of 6 for 13 yards. He's got to throw here on 3rd and 10. He'll fire deep down the middle of the field and connect with the receiver, Mac Chima. for a huge first down. They needed that.
Wow, and Hamilton, if we get a replay on this, it looked like Mac Chima kind of was bobbling with his ball here. Don't look like he had a great catch on it. It was tipped. It was tipped, and he ended up catching it. Wow, it looked like 47 Lincoln Kingseed basically tipped the ball out of his hand, and he regathered himself and made the catch. Outstanding concentration.
And that, for Baltimore, is the safety valve that kind of opens things up a little bit, is that first down right there, and they get 9 more right on that one. But, Demond, it just felt like if they went 3 and out there, Carolina might start to run.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. That would have gave Carolina great confidence in this ball game. And let's talk about if Carolina scores on that next possession as well. That puts them down by 17. And Carolina, walking around with very great confidence here at home.
Flip outside. Murray with room gets the first down easily before being wrestled down there at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, here's one. Murray does what he's doing. Doing what he does best out of the backfield. He's a great receiver, great hands, one of the best in the league. I put him up there with BDG Hollywood and some of the other guys as well. Coming out of the backfield, you can also put Warren Murray on, on out routes and a post route. I'm giving Baltimore hints and tips here. The guy is just that good at catching the receiving ball.
Quit giving them hints. What's wrong with you, Damon? If you've watched the league in the last 10 years, you know that Baltimore is not a team that needs a lot of hints and help.
No, they don't.
1st and 10. Wigmore fires across the middle. Low catch is made. Had to adjust to get down there, did Ivory Irvin, but the pro gets there.
He picks up that first down. Let's talk about this play here. This is 50 XZ in and out. One of the plays that very few teams like to run in the league, but it's on that in route. I love the out route on the play. That in route is normally bunched up in the middle of the field, and Wigmore was able to find Ivory Irvin coming across the middle wide open.
Wigmore checks across the middle. That catch is made. Huge hit on Mac Chima, though. He ran into a dump truck that was Danny Stinson.
Yeah, Mac Chima, man, the number 2 guy on this ball club is probably one of the best. I'm going to say probably the best number 2 guy in the SFL. I know there's a number 2 guy down in Houston who think he's number 1, but I got to put him there neck and neck. This guy, Mac Chima, runs with the best of them.
Baltimore is driving, but that takes us to the end of the first. 10-0. Carolina on top of Baltimore here at home. We'll be right back for the second quarter. Well, Damon, Baltimore right on the doorstep. Wigmore 7 of 11 tonight, and they just need 10 more yards to cap this drive off with points.
Yeah, look at the defense here playing man press coverage here in the dime, the 4-1 dime that is.
Pressure coming, floats, tipped up, bobbled around, and Carolina had all the chance in the world to take that one away, and Lincoln Kingseed couldn't do it.
You're right. I was just about to speak on it. Kingseed was right there, had his palms on it, but I think he took his eyes off the ball and looked down at his feet to make sure that he was in the painted area and not on the white stripe on the back end of the end zone.
Man, and if Baltimore is able to score here on the next 2 plays and get 6 points, that catch and drop is going to haunt Carolina for the rest of the half. 4-3 look here. Single back in the backfield is Murray. Watch the screen play. They're going to throw the screen play. Murray's got to be 2 to the corner. He does. Warren Murray walks it in for 6 points for the Vultures.
I think that was probably the best play for Baltimore to run right there. But let's talk about Kurt Lawrence, number 77, the guard. Come out pulling here. Watch him. Gets a block there right at the line. Come out. Bam. Little guy. Never wins that matchup with a guard there, and he basically takes him out of the picture, and he comes away with that big block for Murray to open it up for the touchdown.
And that makes things a little bit more even. Baltimore right back in it. We said, Damon, down by 10. They're not the type of team to get nervous, get anxious. They certainly didn't do that. They drive right down the field and score.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a 10-play, 78-yard drive that crossed the end of the quarter break. They were answering Carolina's 5-play, 47-yard drive, which ended in a touchdown, and these two teams getting ready, Damon, to go back and forth.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Andy Hamilton. Let's see if Carolina can regroup here, get things moving on the offensive end, and try to increase their lead, because if they do not increase this lead here to at least 7 points, you give Baltimore the opportunity to take the lead on their next opposing possession.
Baltimore will give the ball back to Carolina, but not before we check on action in Oklahoma. Let's send it to Cam to see what's going on. Cam?
Two of the top 4 teams in the SFL in action tonight. One is Tulsa, and on the third play of the game, whoops, forgot to cover Zach Patton. Seattle, 76-yard score. They don't have a problem starting strong. 7-0 Nemesis in Tulsa. Back to you guys.
Wow. Thanks, Cam. Ike McBride off this left side. Oh, McBride! Man, oh man, 6 yards there. And that power, they're going to need McBride to do a couple more of those tonight.
You're right about that, in Hamilton. And one thing about Ike McBride, although Carolina loves to run her straight up the middle, but once she bounces that outside and get herself one-on-one with a little guy like she just did, either a linebacker or either one of those corners or safeties, she normally seems to run those guys over, as we just saw there. And if she get 2 guys, she's off to the races.
Give McBride right up the gut again. McBride stood up, gets 3, 3rd and a yard.
Yeah, McBride has been the heavy load of the run game so far. We've only seen 1 carry by Hanzo so far in this ball cup, but Ike McBride is doing very well so far here in the run game.
All 4 backs tonight have touched the ball, 2 on both teams. All 4 of them doing pretty good in terms of yards per carry. Give McBride up the middle. McBride got the first down to the 32, moves the chains.
And this is one of the advantages of having an Ike McBride on your team, is that you have a big back like her, power back, that can pick up those very short yardage, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, or so, you know, to get those first downs for you, to keep the chains moving. That's one thing about Carolina that makes them very, very dangerous. They have Ike McBride as the halfback and Hanzo as the fullback, 2 powerful individuals that can pick up those short yardage gains.
Shotgun 4 wide. South under pressure, finally unloads, and it's tipped away, incomplete. Frank Smith got a hand to it. Pressure, though, was coming on the outside. I think it was Al Walker.
Yeah, Frank Smith, man. I mean, this guy is just one of those individuals that always seems to find himself around the ball, no matter what it is, a pass deflection, either interceptions, you know, forcing fumbles or whatever, or even just being in the right spot to make a tackle. This guy is like a head hunter out there, and did not really mean to say that.
2nd and 10. That throw's complete. I was very confused there at the start, Damon. They had like 3 guys on the outside receivers, and Heath McDaniel Jr. was just like uncovered.
Yeah, you're right. You take a look at him in the replay, bam, wide open, and all of a sudden 36 comes out of nowhere and always right there in the vicinity of the play. And when I said I didn't mean to say Avamack as a headhunter. I didn't want to make it seem as if I was trying to put my team, you know, out there, like, you know. You get what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'll say it. He looks like a player that could play for the Vancouver Legion someday. There we go. Now we've just gone ahead and said it.
I want to say heat-seeking missile. So
McBride up the middle gets 9, and that'll set Carolina up just how they want. And Damon, the other thing when you're playing a team like Baltimore is you want to take the ball out of their hands. The longer you can possess the football, the better off you're going to be.
You're absolutely right, in Hamilton, and I must say that Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, is winning the time of possession in this ball game. I mean, they've had some great drives, and they're looking pretty good on this drive as well. Running the ball, there's Big Hanzo.
Oh, you got to look out. Big Hanzo, anytime he's going to get the ball, is going to go right up the middle. He'll karate chop you if you're not careful.
Yeah, he tried to karate chop me at the convention in Atlanta.
Well, that segues beautifully, Damon. The SFL convention is coming to Cincinnati, Ohio, July 28th to the 30th for the Season 21 kickoff weekend. For room reservation details and the weekend schedule, see the convention alerts channel on the SFL Discord server. Rooms are going fast. Reserve your special group rate today. We'll see you there. I have my room reserved, Damon. Is yours already ready to go?
I most likely won't be going to this convention.
No.
Yeah. I'm maybe starting a new job around that time or so I'm not sure if I'll be getting the time off. But I may just go ahead and book the room, you know, just in case, and you know, we'll see.
Well, the room rates are going fast, Damon.
Yeah, I know. I know they are. And that's not a cliche, as that ad read says that the reservations are going fast. Trust, they are going fast.
Speaking of going fast, McBride right up the middle. Hanzo leading the way. First down, Carolina.
Yeah, this Carolina offense is putting together a great drive here. And what I'm loving is that they're keeping the ball on the ground, out of the air, in harm's way of these defense of Baltimore that loves to force turnovers.
There's a look at Ike McBride's numbers. Had to update there. 10 carries, 45 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. 1st and 10, and they'll flip it out to McBride, and she's going to have a block out in front. 2 blocks out in front. McBride, first down across the 10, inside the red zone. What a play by McBride, but it was the pulling guard, Damon. You love him so much. I think that was Chris Cross.
Yeah, I love when you can see a big, ugly, get out there on the pool. Look at that, 74 on the block there, 77. And the reason why I say big ugly, because they don't get any love, I mean, both guards, 77 and 74 out there pulling for this team. And, man, they basically come away with that a great block for Ike McBride. And as I stated, Carolina is keeping the ball on the ground out of harm's way.
Chris Cross, undrafted rookie, first year in the league, leading the way. And McBride is going to run it right into the end zone, right behind Chris Cross for the touchdown. 6 points, Carolina, they answer.
And that's what you do. You get right behind your big guard, run right behind him to the back end of him, and just allow him to bulldoze everyone in front of you. And as you just put down your hat, your right L, and steamroll your way right into the end zone. Here's a look at it. Look at that. Get right behind Hanzo, right behind 77, and fall across the goal line. Hollywood Boulevard.
Man, it was right behind Chris Cross and Hattori Hanzo. Both the role players, if you will, Damon. They don't get all the love like you were saying, but they both led the way right there, right into the end zone for 6.
You're absolutely right, Andy Hamilton. And you got to give credit to Ike McBride, basically keeping both hands on the ball, securing the carry, and making the purpose of the drive of getting into the end zone.
And just for the record, Chris Cross, I've never seen you in real life, but I don't think you're ugly, no matter what Damon says.
I wasn't calling Chris ugly, but I think Chris Cross. I can't wait to meet Chris Cross myself because I want to play the old, 1991, 92.
Yeah, there you go.
Chris Cross make you want to jump.
He's making Ike McBride want to score. That's 6 more for the Skyhawks, and they'll kick it right back to Baltimore. Irvin going to be on the return, and we'll see what 6 minutes and change has for Baltimore with 2 timeouts. Irvin, though, trying to do it without any offense. He'll get out to the 27. If you miss any SFL action, want to fast forward your SFL experience, check out highlights of SFL games on the SFL YouTube channel and on Highlight Nation, provided by Victor's Valiant, YouTube's premier sports highlight makers. Subscribe to Highlight Nation and Victor's Valiant on YouTube for all your college football and basketball highlight needs. 3 receivers wide, single back here for Baltimore. Wigmore going to throw on first down and complete for another first down out to the 40.
They call it Daily Holder right across the middle. One thing about Daily Holder, very underrated third wide receiver in this league to most people, should I say. But, man, this guy here is probably, he's a great wide receiver. Never complains about being number 2 or number 1. Plays the role of being that number 3 guy, but guess what? He gets a lot of touches in this Baltimore offense, but mostly he gets a lot of touchdowns as well.
Speaking of touchdowns, Baltimore only has 1 tonight. Came on the ground from Warren Murray. See if they can't get another one here before the end of the half. Pressure coming. Wigmore floats. Backside caught, but it's picked off. It's caught by the other seam. Lincoln Kingseed with another interception of Jack Wigmore, the 3rd tonight.
3rd interception tonight for Jack Wigmore, and man, he is not looking too well so far to start this ball game. Carolina put some pressure on him right up the middle with the D lineman, and man, they just forced it. Kingseed just jumped the route there. There it is. Jumped the route, saw it all day. He was back into that cover 4 spot.
And that might have been the first time I've ever seen Jack Wigmore look flustered. He's usually calm, cool, and collected, but he threw that off his back foot under a lot of pressure, and Kingseed took advantage. Now Carolina, 5:33, all 3 timeouts to work with, and a 10-point lead. They'll flip outside. That's an 8-yard grab.
Yeah, Carolina basically is is doing an outstanding job thus far in this ball game, defensively and offensively as well. I'm guessing that Carolina increased their run ratio probably to 75 tonight, so they can keep the ball out of the air and not throw any interceptions. As Matt South does have one on the night and a touchdown as well in his side pocket there. But man, this defense for Carolina really came to play.
Two receivers down at the bottom of the screen going for the deep ball right now. Tipped up and incomplete. Nice defense by Stacking Paper out on the outside, guarding McDaniel Jr.
Yeah, you're risking it all when you throw a deep fade like that on Stacking Paper because this guy can really cover. And here's the thing here. He's 6'3". You know, this guy is pretty tall. So he has athletic ability to make good jumps on the ball when it's up in the air. And he's covering Heath McDaniel. And Heath McDaniel is 6'2", so you have an inch on him there. But hey, great play there defensively by Ben Stacking Paper.
Then they come back 3rd and short. They have the running back and the fullback to maybe make that happen. So not a bad risk if you're going to take one. McBride right up the middle. Oh, yeah, that's easy cooking, Damon.
You're right. Ike McBride right up the middle. And I know she's loving the type of game that she's having so far. But I just think, did I just see Baltimore in a 4-4 defense? I can't recall the last time I've ever saw Baltimore in a 4-4. I could be wrong. I probably was the cornerback. Yeah, that was Stacking Paper that I did see up there on the line of scrimmage. Okay, I'll take that back. That was not the 4-4.
Yeah, in a formation like that, depending on what you're playing in coverage, some of the defenders might walk up, kind of disguising what type of defense you're using. That's one of the things that makes scouting defense so difficult in a league like this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Spread look, they give McBride a run. That went nowhere. Really good job there on the defensive side. Samuels makes the play one-on-one.
Yeah, this linebacker core here for Baltimore, they're all gold-level players that we call them here in the SFL. We have a tier system here. And these guys basically just got themselves to the ball at that time. And as you stated, it was Keenan Samuels, who basically has been an outstanding player in the SFL, his short stint here.
Short drop, looking to throw. Flips outside McBride. Duped out the defensive lineman out there. Able to get more. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Keenan Samuels in Stacking Paper on the tackle there to McBride. But guess what? That's after McBride had already picked up about 7 yards on the reception heading upfield there.
3rd down. 3 yards to go. Could be the difference between 3 and 7. Two receivers split out. Two backs in the backfield. Give McBride. McBride stood up. Not going to get there. 4th and a yard. I don't know. This is tough, Damon. You can either go for it or you can kick.
Yeah, I think I'll probably go for the field goal attempt here. The previous 3 plays, Baltimore basically had your number, not allowing you to get too much running the ball up the middle of the field. That's 3 runs up the middle. You only gained a yard on those last 3 plays. So I think you're doing right here by going for the field goal attempt.
Would make it a 2-possession game still, though. Kick is up, and it's good from 26. Now 20-7. Baltimore going to get the football back with about 3 minutes.
Yeah, but also you go up by 13 points here. Carolina, that is, still have a nice a lead here so far in this ball game as we see the updated stats here coming in from the league headquarters. Looking at turnover-wise there. There's the total of the stats there, the stat total of the game so far. So Carolina looking pretty good. Most passing yards and more rushing yards versus this Baltimore defense.
It's so funny, Damon. A lot of people watch that the graphic there need to be updated, and a lot of people might think, oh, man, they got to update the graphic. But in reality, the graphic needs to update itself because Cam's moving so fast that the graphic just wasn't ready for him.
Yes, the graphic just couldn't keep up with him.
It's the exact opposite of what you're all thinking at home. Cameron Irvine producing all these games, doing a great job behind the scenes, keeping us moving, and doing a great job at it. So 1st and 10 from the 22. Baltimore going to try and keep things moving. Warren Murray off this right side, spun right into a tackle.
Yeah, you're right there, man. He really just didn't have anywhere to go. I mean, that core group defensively for Carolina was all over it. Although Warren Murray picked up 3 yards, it seemed like he really didn't go anywhere.
2nd and 7 now. Wigmore, 8 of 14 tonight, 5 carries for Murray. Had that long of 21, 35 yards total. They'll flip outside here. That's caught. Oh, broken tackle. Nice move there. Caesar Ackerman, first grab of the night.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. First grab of the night there for Caesar Ackerman. He's normally early involved into the offense, but Baltimore just really haven't had any drives going due to the 3 picks that we've seen from Wigmore.
Fun fact about Caesar, his middle name is Salad.
And that's one of my favorite salads. Actually, it is my favorite salad. I love Caesar salad.
Who doesn't? 2 minutes to go here in the first half, 20-7. Carolina on top of Baltimore.
Just don't take me to Caesar Palace. I may lose my head. And my money.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll serve you a nice Caesar salad on your way out.
Exactly.
4-3 look out of Carolina. Give right up the gut. Murray gets 5 to start this next 2 minutes off. Baltimore not necessarily looking like they want to run down the field, Damon.
No, I'm pretty sure they don't. But guess what? You got 3 turnovers here in the first half. 2 in the first quarter. I mean, so what is it that you're going to do? You basically got to keep the ball safe, so keep the ball on the ground. I really don't blame them for that, but you really got to get something going in the air game as well.
Yep, give right up the middle. Oh, wow. That was Phil Hall right there. Stuff for a loss.
Defensive tackle Phil Hall there, man, making the tackle in the backfield on Warren Murray. 3rd and 5 now. Baltimore really got to go to the air here, and that's what they do. They come out in this 4 wide receiver set, single back.
Watch that slot receiver there as Carolina plays man. Some type of arrow route would be wide open. Wigmore throws to that middle receiver. Carolina defends it well. Stood up to the test there on the outside. That was Ibari Amin Eaglin who made the play.
This Carolina secondary is playing like a bunch of hawks out here, I must say. And, man, they are flying to the ball, getting their hands on the ball, pass deflections. They got a total of 4 of them tonight so far, 3 interceptions. I mean, and they have a forced fumble in their back pocket by Phil Hall. Man, this team, I'm sorry, that wasn't the forced fumble by Phil Hall. I take that back. Here's a tackle for loss.
Punt is away. Man, almost got to it. That would have been something, huh? Carolina now returns, and I think, Damon, this might be some of their worst starting field position of the night. They'll start their own 22.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I can't remember seeing Carolina this deep outside of the touchdown when Baltimore kicked the ball off to Carolina on their assuming possession there.
Got 53 seconds, all 3 timeouts. Matt South, 9 of 12 tonight, long of 21 to Vince DeSantis, which opened up the game. And they'll start with Ike McBride right up the middle. Oh, Ike McBride! She's going to do it all on her own. She's across midfield to the numbers, down to the 30, and tackled down at the 25, all the way down into field goal range on one play.
I hope we get an instant replay on this here, Andy Hamilton, because I got to show you something here, buddy. Take a look at wide receiver number 12, Chase Earl. Watch this block. Boop! Right there on Keenan Samuels. Basically shoots Ike McBride open before she's tackled downfield.
Man, oh man, I was lining up to talk about how Matt South was either going to throw something deep or throw a pick, and Ike McBride said, no fear, Matt, I'm just going to take us right into field goal range on one run.
And this Carolina offense is riding Ike McBride all the way to the end zone here if they get there. But I mean, she has been putting on a show. Already over 120 yards tonight.
No way. They'll flip it out to her again, and McBride picks up another 8 through the air. 53 on that last run. She's now got 28 through the air to go along with her 121, a $120 on the ground. Man, Ike McBride is mic dropping the first half so far.
And here's the kicker. That's only 18 touches so far in the ball game. We haven't even made it to the second half yet.
They'll line up heavy again, 2nd and 2. Hanzo stands in front of McBride. Give right up the middle, and McBride through 1. McBride down to the 6, and now they'll go hurry up.
Yeah, she actually put someone in the shadow realms there. Now Baltimore got to hurry up and get back set on defense. South Carolina, I'm hiking it.
McBride through the traffic, and she'll get down to the 2. Timeout, Carolina, a really smart timeout.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. That was a great timeout call there by Carolina because you still got 20 seconds left on the clock in your back pocket. But guess what? You can run your fullback or your halfback right up the middle of the field there, as you've been doing all game long to get the score here. You're only 2 yards out. And then just in case you don't get it, you can still got one more timeout to go ahead and call for the kick field goal.
Split backs. They give Hanzo up the middle. The big man rumbles. Hi-ya! Touchdown, Carolina.
And this is what they love to do. Use him right in between that 5 and goal line mark there to get him going downhill. And here's a look at the instant replay. And 42 just had no way, was unable to just bring down Hanzo on the tackle there. Hanzo just carried him right into the end zone.
Carolina pouring it on here in Raleigh, but they left 18 seconds on the clock for Baltimore. And you know, Damon, sometimes all it takes is a run. One kickoff.
You're right. That one kickoff can actually turn things around momentum-wise here for Baltimore. And Baltimore has one of the most dangerous and skilled return guys in Giovanni Boat on the receiving end.
No, it's actually Ivory Irvin, which is in some regards even more scary, Damon.
You're right. I'm my fault there. I forgot that Ivory Irvin is the return guy and no longer Giovanni Boat. He's been doing it for so long, and the reason why, we got to check with Cameron Irvine. I think Ivory Irvine probably scored more points versus Houston on kick returns than Houston has scored on Baltimore in 2 previous games. I got to check with him on that. That just hurtful.
Irvin out to the 25, and that is where Baltimore will bring the offense back out. But, Damon, you said it. Wigmore has had such struggles tonight through the air that you almost just want to hand it to Warren Murray and say, take us to the half, big guy.
Yeah, that's most definitely what I would do here. I would just hand it off to the halfback or even take a knee. But some would say if you take a knee, you're playing cowardly football. But I would say I'm playing safe football by keeping my guys safe and not injured on the play.
They'll flip it out to Wigmore off this right side. Wigmore tackled there after picking up 7. But, Damon, the other thing about taking a knee is Warren Murray fumbled earlier in the game, remember?
Yeah, you're absolutely right then. You got to keep that in mind as well. You know, how much of the workload can he handle here, after that fumble? How's his mental state? Is that still on his mind? But Warren Murray is a veteran in this league. He's been around since season 10, and the guy knows how to regroup himself and put things like that behind him. So I think he's been pretty fine. But you're absolutely right, though. He did have that fumble early in the first quarter. Haven't had one since. But, hey, you still got to keep that into play.
Well, I think Baltimore in the second half, Damon, is going to come out with their hair on fire. Carolina has got to figure out if they can weather that storm and hang on to their 20-point lead.
Yeah.
And Baltimore takes a timeout with a second left.
Not sure why Baltimore would take a timeout if they're just going to run the ball. I guess they just wanted to use all their timeouts before going into the half.
Well, there's 1 second on the clock. I mean, at the 36, Damon, maybe Wigmore has the arm, and maybe at the 25 he didn't. I don't know. I don't know.
But you're still on your side of the field,
Hey, man, toss it. Toss it. What's the difference?
And he still come out in the jumbo set. So.
It's strong-eyed jokers here, and they'll give him the run off this right side. And there's the end of the half. 27-7. They spotted Carolina 17.5 in the line, and Carolina now leading by 20 at the break. Wow. Damon, I didn't see it coming. Did you?
I did not see it coming at all, I must say. And that's not taking anything away from Carolina.
No.
But going back to them taking that timeout, maybe Warren Murray had a bonus or so in his contract. If he got a certain amount of carries before the halftime of this game, they want to make sure that he got those touches to get that bonus.
Well, speaking of carries, Damon, Ike McBride dominated that first half, 164 yards, says Cameron Irvine. Baltimore had 163 yards total in the first half, so Ike McBride out rushing and out yarding all of the Baltimore Vultures, and Carolina gets the football back to start this second half.
Wow, how many players in this league can say that they have outgained yards versus Baltimore in one half of football?
Here's the beauty of it if you're a Baltimore fan, though, Damon. Football is a game with 2 halves, right? 4 quarters. 2 of them are in the books. That doesn't mean the game's over. And like I said, I think Baltimore's going to come out with their hair on fire, and I think we're going to buckle in for a real fun second half here.
You're right about that, Andy Hamilton. Here in the SFL, we play 44 minutes of football, and we have 22 of them left.
South will start in the shotgun. He's thrown it 13 times tonight. This would appear to be his 14th. South flips across the middle. Caught, first down. Carolina rumbling. Oh, man, I thought Vince DeSantis was going to break one more and crib it.
Guess what? I thought the same thing you thought. I thought he was going to break the tackle here as we get to see it on the instant replay. All slants here, makes the catch. Little guy comes to try to tackle him. Another little guy, and he unfortunately came down when Elijah Warfield put his paws on him, the cornerback there. But I really thought he was taking this to the house after that broke tackle from Marvin Hines.
If he broke that second one, man, he was rumbling. And I don't know if anyone would have caught him.
No, I don't. I agree with your partner.
Man, Mike St. Green in the chat is just trying to jinx everyone here tonight. I don't know what that wild comment is about. South flips outside McBride. McBride threw one and then smacked in the mouth. She'll get 2.
Yeah, Ike McBride there coming over, only picking up 2 yards there. As you stated, got hit real hard on the after the receiving end of that reception there. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sure what that is in the chat.
I'm paying no more attention to it. He was just trying to get me to say his name on the broadcast, Damon. I know that's all it was. Run up the middle. McBride, she'll get another 5, I should say. 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and Carolina is doing what they did exactly in the first half. Keep the ball clean, keep it on the ground in the hands of your number 1 running back and your fullback to basically, keep these drives going. It's 3rd and 2. I mean, Why not? Give it right back to your halfback or fullback, pick up the 2 yards, keep the drive moving. 4-4-3 defense here by Baltimore. Look at the safety down right there at the 40-yard line as well.
Give McBride swarm. She's not going to get there. That's what Baltimore needed coming out of this half, was to hold Carolina off the scoreboard. Al Walker makes the play on 3rd down.
Yeah, outstanding defensive play there by this Baltimore front, and not allowing Carolina to pick up that 1st down to get the chains moving to allow this drive to continue going here. Can't remember the last time we called out the punter for Carolina, Grundy. Or whatever, but yeah. I'm
gonna say it's Saucial Grande, and Grande is gonna give a Grande punt and pin Baltimore at the goal line. Oh, big boy, big punt.
Wow, talk about great special teams play. We've seen a block field goal from Carolina. Now the punter comes out. Saucial. Sounds like some seasoning or something you put on some type of food. Grande, being from Texas, we love Grande here. Man, I'm just ecstatic about that punt.
Throw outside. Man, risky of Baltimore to throw. All the defensive linemen were licking their lips.
Yeah, they sure was. They say, "Oh, pass, get to the quarterback." And man, they best believe they were trying to get there to Wigmore, but he gets 5 yards outside of the end zone, but they're still in dangerous territory.
Well, to be honest, Demond, I was Googling the punter's name. Got nothing. Nothing came up. I don't know what that means. Throw to the outside. Baltimore says, you can name your punter whatever you want. We're going to get out to the 18 and keep our drive moving.
Yeah, and they threw it to the guy who I like to call their security blanket, and that's Daley Holder. Daley Holder does all the dirty work in this receiving group. Look at here. Out route, gets himself open, gets past the sticks, almost gets to the 20-yard line there, but that's what he does. He does the little work that nobody else basically wants to do. Doesn't care about his touches. Just a team player.
Skippy Curtis on the tackle. She gave us a donation earlier, so I want to make sure she gets her shine. 2 tackles tonight for Skippy Curtis, keeping this team moving both in the locker room and on the field. Wigmore, deep drop, deep throw. Oh, picked off again. Monte Wyatt, make that 2.
Wow. That is the 4th interception by Wigmore tonight. The last time he had 4 interceptions was earlier this season versus Houston in a single game where he threw 5. And Wyatt comes away with that INT, and that is Wyatt's 2nd pick of the night, Andy Hamilton. He's having himself a ball game.
You're telling me he threw 5 picks to Houston and still won that game, Damon?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do it to you. I just couldn't believe it. That seems crazy.
Yeah, Houston threw a pick 6. Horrible.
Carolina throws outside, and they will get a couple yards there. Chase Earl makes it 2nd and 3. Carolina trying to avoid that fate. They're up by 20. They got the ball on Baltimore's 21-yard line.
Yeah, and Chase Earl is one of these guys in the league, who's making a name for himself as well. Coming in, doing some pretty good things here for this Carolina offense. One thing I love about Chase Earl is, man, he loves to get behind this. When he gets behind the secondary on that deep post, this dude is hard to catch from behind. There's Ike McBride again, picking up a first down. Move the chains.
I was going to say, speaking of hard to catch, Ike McBride, another run, another first down.
Oh, nice block there by Hanzo on Frank Smith.
Hanzo been doing it tonight too. 3 carries, 13 yards, and a touchdown for him. It's backfield in Carolina looking dangerous so far tonight. F-wing Jokers. They're going to throw a screen out of it, and here goes Ike McBride off this left side. McBride through 1. McBride all the way down to the 3.
Wow, that was an outstanding pass, but I was looking at one of the guards, I think it was. I want to say 58. No, it's not 58. Let me see here. Which I can't see which. That looks like 50. It was 50. The center, Carbonara, it looked like a hold there he had on one of the defensive guys, and I thought that the ref was going to throw that flag, but unfortunately he did not.
Both McBride and Hanzo have touchdowns from a couple yards out. See what happens here. Give right up the middle. McBride one-on-one stuffed. What a tackle there. That's Troy LaShaw who filled the gap.
Yeah, she got stood up right at the line of scrimmage there by LaShaw and was unable to get things going. LaShaw met her there before she could even get things rolling. Nice defensive play by LaShaw coming up from that strong safety spot.
LaShaw, 6'1", 200. And Ike McBride, 6'2", 230. LaShaw now makes a second play in a row.
This time he comes in with a spear on McBride. And McBride is slow getting up. And why is Hanzo walking over her like that? Like, bro, that's your teammate. Help her up.
3rd and goal from the 3. Baltimore trying to make a big stand on the defensive side. LaShaw leading the way from strong safety. They're going goal line now. Hanzo split out to the right. McBride behind Matt South. Looking to throw. South flips out of the hands. Dropped by Vince DeSantis.
DeSantis had the touchdown in his pocket, but he just couldn't keep his hands on the ball. Oh, I know Matt South is like, bro, you're killing me here. You did so great on the previous 2 plays. I mean, the previous 2 passes I threw to you. You dropped basically the easiest one I threw. Guess he was excited that the ball came to him wide open in that end zone there, and he just dropped it. Basically, no excuses for that.
I think he was shocked that he got that open, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Kick is up and good, 30-7. Still, if you're Carolina, you're still feeling happy right now.
Yeah, you're right. Carolina most definitely has to be feeling good about themselves, but they have to continue to stay focused as there is still another 16 minutes and 25 seconds left in this ball game, Andy Hamilton. Anything can happen here in the SFL. You and I have been around for quite some time, and trust, you and I both have seen some bizarre things happen. This game can turn at the snap of just like that, man. Things can really go south. So Carolina most definitely do not need to get the happy head here, but just continue to play awesome football.
Well, I think that goes to show you the respect we're giving to Baltimore too, because there's a fair handful of teams in this league, Damon, that would be down 30-7, where we would say the game is over, and that just goes to show you that the parity across the league is huge. And Baltimore is really at the top.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this just goes to show that Carolina really did their homework and started studying, some things that probably other teams were doing defensively. And that's a big tackle for loss there for Christopher Collin on the defensive line there. Man, he came up strong on that 2-yard loss there.
Yeah, and if Baltimore can't run the ball, Damon, I don't know where you go if you're the Vultures.
Yeah, because basically anytime you throw the ball deep, the ball is becoming intercepted. Anytime they went deep across the middle, the ball has been intercepted. You basically now you got to play out routes and probably quick slants.
Deep throw, Wigmore picked again! Intercepted on the outside. Carolina is making a feast of Jack Wigmore. It's Tristan Hatley, the 10th-year veteran.
2 games, 5 picks for Jack Wigmore. When have you ever seen that in the SFL by this particular quarterback? Never. This is the first time he has thrown 5 interceptions in 2 games in a single season. Tonight, no touchdowns for Wigmore. This defense for Carolina is putting on a show, and they are hungry.
South going to go 5 wide and try and answer immediately. South throws bottom of the screen, tipped up, and that one was nearly intercepted. Speaking of the top of the league, Damon, next Saturday on Next Level Sports, the 2 biggest surprises of the 20th anniversary season will meet at the Hive, where the 8-1 Atlanta Swarm will host the 7-2 Tulsa Desperados, with the winner likely clinching a first-round bye. Kickoff 6:30 Eastern. For a complete channel guide, visit NLSE.com. Both of those teams got to be watching this game from Baltimore with hungry hearts.
Hey, absolutely, hungry hearts. It's like McBride.
3rd and 8, and now South is probably going to have to go back to the air.
Yeah, 3rd and long here. You most definitely got to go to the air. I would basically try to target Chase Earl. I wouldn't try to go deep with it, but I would most definitely target the sideline, get him right past the sticks there. It looks like they're probably going to run all slants here.
Slant play coming. DeSantis holds on to that one and has the first down.
And that's what you do there. That's what your tight end is made for. Your tight end is basically the quarterback's best friend, a security blanket. He's the guy that basically gets open, goes right across the middle of the field, not afraid of that linebacker coming up to put a hit on him, as well as that strong safety, free safety standing back there. And that is a great play by Carolina to pick up that first down, and with a nice soft pass from Matt South to DeSantis.
South fires, caught, another first down. Carolina moving down the field. They're now in the red zone again.
Yeah, this is Heath McDaniel Jr. here on the reception. We haven't called his name as much today. I want to say that's his 2nd reception, and it is his 2nd reception tonight, and that is a nice pass there by Matt South. Matt South has been basically keeping it clean tonight. 15 of 20, 75% completion rating with a QBR of 97.7.
2 backs in the backfield. 23-point lead. Give. McBride falls forward for a yard. That seems like an odd spot, but sure.
And the thing that I'm loving from Carolina is that they're not going away from the run. They're keeping the run game involved here. As they're moving the ball downfield, they're keeping the ball on the ground in the hands of Hanzo and Ike McBride basically on this drive. Keeping it safe.
Your goal is to take as much time off the clock as you can over your next 2 drives. 3 receivers wide. Free play here for Matt South. South fires outside, caught, and not going to get many yards there as Chase Earl. They'll probably take the penalty.
Yeah, they most definitely will take the penalty here. You're absolutely right. And as we were speaking of before the play started, Andy, is that we're seeing them keep the ball on the ground, as you stated, running the clock. But some teams in the SFL will have the tendency of stop running the ball and to try to continue to air it out, to try to put more points on the board real quick or so. And that basically can get you in trouble. So I love what I'm seeing by Carolina by keeping the ball on the ground as well.
Yeah, got to do it. Got to make sure your 2 better players of the night, McBride and Hanzo, get their carries. And Carolina doing a really good job of controlling the football right now. 2nd and 4, South. Quick throw. I mean, that demand, as much as that's a pass, that's a run.
Yeah, it is. And if I'm DeSantis, I'm happy that the guy tackled me, because he looked like he was about to run backwards towards the offensive lineman and probably lose some yards there. So I would be excited that the defensive player hit me as quick as I did, because his momentum was taking him backwards.
2 in the backfield, 4 down linemen for Baltimore. This might be the 4-4 right here, Damon. It looks like the safety's walked up. McBride, and the safety makes the play. Troy LaShaw cuts over, and it works out for Baltimore.
Yeah, and the little birdie did hit me up and inform me that Baltimore did run the 4-4 versus Arizona in their previous game.
So Baltimore has used the 3-3 and the 4-4 tonight, and it is not necessarily working to their advantage, although on that play, Troy LaShaw makes the cut down and holds the Skyhawks to a field goal attempt here. Kick is up and good. 33 now for Carolina. They are on top. Big, Damon. They are up 26 points.
Yeah, not mad at all about the field goal attempt, but for going for it there at all. Anytime you can put points on the board, why not go for it? Add those 3 points, increase your lead. You know, still a minute and 9 seconds left here in this quarter. Total of 12:09 left in the ball game. Anytime you can increase that lead, go for it. Absolutely.
Kick is away. Let's see what Irvin has in his bag of tricks. Special teams play might be just what Baltimore needs to spark something. Damon, they got to spark something here. If you're the Vultures, got to get something going. But hey, don't leave this broadcast without joining our Discord server. There's plenty of people sparking some conversation up in there, and there's way more to do in the SFL than just being a player. Join to check out content for teams and about the league created by the community. Participate in pick'em games, play SFL fantasy football, and test your skills in the survivor pool. Join our server, visit simulationfl.net, and click on the Discord icon on the menu. The SFL community, 2,000 strong, and Damon, there's nothing like being in the Discord server.
You're absolutely right. Discord server, man, we've met so many people in this league, in our Discord server. You know, you get to know the individuals. You start sparking up conversations and you start finding out things about people. It's pretty vocal in there, should I say?
Yeah, vocal is the right word.
It's very vocal in there, But hey, man, like I stated, you meet some nice people in there. You never know who you may become friends with or so, and you guys may become, the best of buds or so, or whatever, and. It's a great league to be a part of, let's just say that. But back to the ball club, you stated Baltimore down by 26 points. Andy Hamilton, Baltimore largest margin of defeat is 23, a 30-7 loss to the Indy Red Devils back in season 11, July 22nd of 2018.
So Baltimore, if this end of the third quarter was the end of the fourth, that would beat that record, but Baltimore still has a whole 11 minutes to try and make that better. If not, come back and win the game. You never know with these Vultures in this game. The Skyhawks trying to hold off to a huge victory. 1 quarter to go, 11 minutes on the clock. Get your 4s, your 86s, your 12s, and your 68s up in chat, and we'll get going here with 11 minutes to go. He's Damon Simeon. I'm Andy Hamilton. And we have Ike McBride and Juan Mississippi on stats. Cameron Irvine producing behind the scenes. We got quite a ball game here. One that I don't think anyone could have written a script for. Here is the throw to the outside. Wide open receiver Ackerman down the sideline. Damon, it just keeps getting exciting.
Yeah, Ackerman was wide open. Not sure what Carolina saw there. This is probably the first deep pass that was converted this half for the Baltimore Vultures. Here as Ackerman is wide open on a post route to the sideline there, right up as he get past the sticks. Nice catch there by the tight end, though. But Andy Hamilton, I went back and I looked at the who you got polls here in the SFL. Baltimore 109, Carolina 19. Carolina, how do you only have 19 when you have 23 players on your team?
Wigmore throws outside, tipped up. Oh, man, that would have been going the other way. Mojo McClain would have been dancing in the end zone in about 2 minutes had he been able to pick that one off. But, man, that Ackerman catch, 37, the longest of the night for Baltimore a moment ago.
Yeah, if Mojo picks this one here off, man, there's no one probably going to catch him. He's taking this one to the house.
Actually, Murray's right there, but yeah.
Yeah, probably so.
And Murray's got the speed. If there's anyone who's going to track him down, probably Warren Murray. And I don't mean any offense to Mojo McClain, but probably not the fastest 40 time I've ever seen. 2nd and 10, Baltimore still on the precipice of trying to get some points and get back in this game. 4-3 look here on Carolina. Wigmore going to throw. Short throw is offline, just couldn't connect with Chima.
Yeah, that was to Mac Chima there, and that ball was thrown behind him. So I'm not sure what Wigmore saw. I didn't see any pressure on Wigmore coming up the middle of the field there, but I'm not sure if the ball was tipped. I didn't see that or so, but that was just a bad throw by the quarterback.
And that's just kind of the epitome of Baltimore tonight, right, DeMond? It just hasn't looked like them.
Yeah, absolutely right. It has not looked like them at all tonight.
4 wide here, looking to throw, fires across the middle, tackled, incomplete, popped out of his hands there. They were looking, I think that was Ackerman again, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and Baltimore is going to settle for a field goal here as they're at Carolina's 24-yard line.
Damon, this is crazy. I just looked at this for the first time, and I hope it's accurate. Baltimore, 11 minutes, 7 seconds of clock time tonight. Carolina, 20 minutes and 39 seconds. In the third quarter, Carolina had 8 minutes of possession of the football, so they're going to get the ball back here with about 10 minutes to go as this field goal is up and on the way and good. They're going to have about 10 minutes with the ball that they can try and just burn as much of the clock as they can, and they're up by 23.
Wow, absolutely. And, as we stated that, this is not what we expected from Baltimore. Let's take a look at Carolina. Pretty sure nobody came in, gave Carolina any type of chance to win this ball game. Carolina gives up 25.3 points a game, which is 12th in the league. Baltimore gives up 19.3, which is number 1. Carolina basically shut the Baltimore offense down, and they are basically scoring at will versus Baltimore's defense. So, you can't look at these stats and say, okay, well, this is going to be an easy win, or even look at a team record and say, oh, this is going to be a bye week for us. We can cruise this week or so. You just can't do that because you just do not know what can happen on any particular ball, on any particular game day.
Yeah, and that's, all credit to Carolina for doing their part and coming out here with their heads on fire. And I think, Damon, in a game like this, that's what Carolina needs for a season like this to really, turn and push things, is a win, a signature win like this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I agree with you. A signature win like this is really going to boost the morale of this team. You can imagine what that locker room is going to be like after this ball game if they win this game. There's still 9 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. Have to be respectful of that. 3-3 defense here for Baltimore as we speak.
South, flip outside, McBride gains a couple. Damon, I usually try not to think of what the Carolina locker room is like, but if I had to imagine, if I was forced, that it's probably already popping off just with how this looks right now, and that's knowing that Baltimore still has 9 minutes to work with.
Yeah, you talk about the first 5 weeks of the season. This Carolina team was sitting at 3-1. They started off the season pretty hot, went on a 3-game win streak. Beating the Charleston Predators, beating the Fort Worth Toros, and also the DC Dragons. Before taking a loss to Alamo City, and then a backdoor win versus Houston, and then they lost 3 in a row, their last 3 games or so. So this game here basically can put up some numbers with the best of them.
Cameron Irvine letting us know season 5 against this Baltimore kind of ownership group was the last time and the largest margin of victory for Carolina's franchise in any game, a 33-point victory back in season 5. So Carolina, when they win big, more times than not, it's against Baltimore. But look out, Irvin trying to spark something here on the return.
Now that was funny. They win big versus Baltimore. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Irvin, though, not saying goodnight just yet. Just under 9 minutes, and Baltimore down by 23. If you're the Vultures, you're thinking, look, we got the pieces, right? We got all the guys who can score on the big plays and score quick. We just got to put it together here a couple of times.
Yeah, that's one word there. I mean, looking at his numbers there, he got a nice, bulk of the load in the first half. Second half, he just really have not gotten the ball. Baltimore offense just really couldn't get things going.
5-yard run for Murray. At what point, Damon, do you abandon the run?
Never. Never abandon the run. I don't care how much or how many points you're down by. You always keep something going with the run game. Basically because it keeps the defense balanced or balanced or so. You want to keep that run game. So just in case you want to throw a play action out there, have those linebackers and safeties bite up on it. Boom, right over the back top. Watch for the fade route.
Deep fade, and that one's picked off, and that might cap this thing off for Carolina. The fireworks are going off in the parking lot. Tristan Hatley, number 2 of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Hatley coming away with his second interception. That's on back-to-back.
Fades.
No, that's not what I thought. It was back-to-back possessions. It was the possession before Baltimore had when Hatley had the interception. And is that the 6th INT for Wigmore tonight?
Yes, it is. 6 INTs for Jack Wigmore tonight. No touchdowns for him either. He was coming into the game, and he looked really good in terms of the season stats. 14 interceptions to his name, but he's thrown 6 tonight. Deep ball. Matt South was looking for the money ball, and stacking paper deflects.
Matt South tried to tried to break the foundation on this stadium. I mean, can you imagine if that would have connected? Man, the crowd would have went bizarre here in Richardson Memorial Stadium.
And then they go heavy again, Damon. They're going to take their shot. Then they're going to, when that doesn't work out, they'll play smart football. That's something out of Carolina you love to see. Flip outside. McBride here with a little bit of room. She'll get 6, stays in bounds, keeps the clock rolling.
And let's talk about this formation here. F-wing jokers, 50H, screen strongs with, what most people run. Some may run.
What's that?
It's particular information. You normally see teams run this who have a finesse back. You normally don't see teams run it who has a power back. But Carolina, the offensive coordinator, Shan Varner, loves to run this play whether he with his power backs.
Pressure coming. South had to unload. It's incomplete. And Baltimore gets a stop here on the defensive side.
Man, did you hear the zip on that ball? I'm not sure if we'll be able to hear it on this replay. But if you ever see those old videos of Warren Moon where people... his wide receiver core, Haywood Jeffries, Drew Hill, Curtis Duncan, and Ernest Givens. Let those guys describe the type of throw he used to throw. They say when he throw it, you hear a zip come off his fingertips. That's what it sounded like when Matt South just threw that ball.
Well, our favorite player on the field, Demond, is back on, Mr. Grande. Who knows what his first name is, but he's about to punt it away. I tell you what, this Carolina team is full of characters. This punt just barely gets off, and the special teams for Carolina is going to make Irvin call for a fair catch at the 39.
You're right. They're extremely full of characters. You have Cheesy Pizza, Ash Ketchup, you got some crazy names over here, man,
Jonathan Calzone.
Lorenzo Lasagna,
Marco Gelato. Yeah, we got some good ones on here. My favorite, though, number 81, Delivery DiGiorno. That's my favorite player. And Wigmore, deep drop, throws the outside, caught. Ackerman through the traffic, will get to midfield.
It must have been the chef who gave these guys name, Alfredo Fettuccine.
Harish Prasad hadn't eaten in days when he made all these players. and then with all those characters, Damon, you got the backup halfback, just Travis Warren, just hanging out, just a guy, just with the rest of them. Short drop, Wigmore into a lot of traffic. Prasad gets a hand on that one. Now under 7 minutes to go.
And that's basically what it's been all night long here for, the Baltimore offense, is that they've thrown the ball in heavy traffic, and Carolina Skyhawks has basically put on a no-fly zone type of performance here tonight. There are labeled after, fighter jets of the military of the U.S., and they basically has been patrolling the skies and shooting everything down that came their way.
Wigmore, deep throw, one-on-one deflected there. Lincoln Kingseed, he doesn't wear gloves. He tapes those fingers, but he's able to get a finger on the ball.
Yeah, Kingseed was strive with Mac Chima there, and that's hard to do because Mac Chima, is basically one of the fastest people in this league, standing at 6'4", 230. Pretty heavy as well, but he's pretty fast.
Trevon's saying something in the chat, but it's not a super chat, so I'm not going to acknowledge it, Damon. If he'd like me to acknowledge it, he can super chat us, right? That's how we handle things around here.
Yeah, absolutely, he can. Especially when he's talking about food.
4 wide, Wigmore, flip outside. That'll make it more manageable. I think you got to go for this 4th down, right, Damon?
Yeah, you're Baltimore. You do not have a choice at all but to go for it here. And I think they're going to bring on the punter, Matty Coffins here. But, yeah, I would most definitely keep my offense out on the field. You're in Carolina territory, which is 4th down territory.
And you're right. They do send on Coffins, the second-year man, 6'2", 190. Haven't heard much from him tonight. Wigmore's been arm punting it, so they haven't needed Coffins. Although Coffins is going to... Oh, come on, 21. Grab it.
Yeah, absolutely. All he had to do was put a finger on it and push it backwards or so. Just do something, instead of letting it roll into the end zone. Give us something to talk about outside of what you didn't do.
Well, I thought he was going to Coffins it right there.
I did too. I thought it was going to go out of bounds myself.
And there's Shravan Prasad pulls in the super chat. We got him, Damon. And he says Pesto Penne might be signing next season, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Thank you, Shravan. Run right up the middle. Ike McBride. Oh, man. 1 tackle away again.
And here's something about Ike McBride. Andy Hamilton is that the 4th quarter, she gets stronger and stronger and stronger in the 4th quarter. I had to face this individual several times in the South Division, playing her sometimes twice a season in the South. And, man, we've had our fair share of Ike McBride breaking our hearts in the 4th quarter after having a big lead, and she comes from behind and actually wins the day.
Give McBride again, and McBride picks up another 3. Time continuing to roll off this clock, and Demond, there's a certain point here where it's just going to be out of reach.
Yeah, it most definitely will be. 2nd and 7 here, and I was most definitely say keep giving the ball to the backs. Keep running it. No need to put it in the air right now.
Demond, if you're Baltimore, you really felt through that first drive like things were just going to really get going, and you were going to be, your normal selves as Ike McBride picks up another 4 or 5. But then that blocked field goal, and after that, you just never really got moving.
No, they couldn't. Absolutely. They couldn't recover from the blocked field goal. Also, fortunately, that they did make the fumble recovery on that same possession. That Warren Murray did cough the ball up, and they did recover it. There was a lot of blue shirts where that Carolina could have picked that ball up or either fell on it, and had to recover there, which would have put them in pretty good field position. And, man, Carolina's not going to pick up the 1st down there. Most likely will have to punt here. But, yeah, you're absolutely right, Andy Hamilton. They did not recover from that block punt from Carolina. Field goal, sorry.
Yeah, well, it took points off the board for Baltimore and also gave Carolina a little bit of momentum, and that sets them up. And Carolina just rolls, and Baltimore struggles. Wigmore throwing interceptions doesn't help, and if you're Baltimore, you want to forget this night and have kind of the mind of a goldfish and move on to next week. Speaking of other teams in the league and what might be going on next week, let's send it to Cameron Irvine to see what's going on in Oklahoma right now.
Thank you, Andy. This is not a joke. This is the truth. 2 of the top 4 teams in the SFL right now are trailing. Seattle leads Tulsa 31-17 in the 3rd thanks to 2 pick sixes. That Polytrue touchdown. Desperado's in trouble in the 3rd. Join us after you're done in Carolina.
Man, oh man, Damon, the top of the playoff race is moving and shaking. Wigmore throws, and that's another pick. 1 more to cap off the night for Carolina. eBay got it.
Is that it? Is that a pick for everyone in the secondary? Everyone has a pick except Skippy Curtis. Hadley has a pick. Wyatt has a pick. Amon Eagleton has a pick.
Joseph.
King C doesn't have one. He does have an interception.
Davidson, Joseph, and Skippy Curtis, the only 2 who don't. Flip outside here. McBride is going to try and stay inbound. She will not. But, man, I tell you what, Damon, if I know Davidson Joseph and Skippy Curtis, they don't care at all.
Absolutely, yeah. Those, especially Skippy Curtis, are probably the best cheerleaders for Carolina in the locker room and in the chats. You know, when this team plays, Carolina shows up in the chat room, man, and Skippy is always probably one of the best cheerleaders for her team anytime they're on the field.
2 backs in the backfield. Give McBride. Gets that clock moving again, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, McBride basically up the middle there. And, you know, this time around, you know, should I say, this late in the ball game, you know, that's basically what we're going to see out of Carolina is a handful of Ike McBride and Hanzo right up the middle there. But give kudos to Baltimore and not giving up. They're still fighting and clawing and not allowing Ike McBride to bust one loose.
Man, a $20 super chat from Skippy. And all she has to say is Ibari. I mean, I pretty much for $20 will say just about anything you want me to say on the broadcast, Damon, but Ibari it is.
Well, let me go ahead and cash app you $20 so I can see what you're going to say.
No, hey, put it in the chat, man. I give it to Cam. I don't need the $20, but put it in the super chat, man. I wonder, Cam can probably let us know in the chat. I wonder what's the highest super chat dollar amount they've ever got on one broadcast.
I want to say it was $100.
Well, we're at what? We're at least $30. $100, he says.
Oh,
so
no, someone singly sent in $100.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That was
we're
largest,
not. There's.
That was the largest I've seen.
There's no way then. Yeah, there's no way. Punt is blocked. Baltimore gets in front of this one, and hold on
now.
Whoa, that was scooped up there. Hold on, let's really do this right. Mario Luigi scooped that one up and was about to turn the corner, Damon.
What's up with all the pasta names? The Italian.
Well, that's Italian. That's not pasta at all.
Well, I'm thinking about all the pasta food. I mean, the pasta and the Italian food of these players for Carolina.
You know that man was a punter before he became a football or a plumber before he became a football player, right?
Yeah.
Looking to throw. Here's Wigmore, complete across the middle, and that's David Anderson checking into the game. He picks up 8.
Yeah, it was a plumber fighting alligator snapping turtles.
Yeah. Tonight he's fighting vultures. Throw across the middle. Tipped, almost picked off Wyatt. Not again, man. This guy's all over the place.
Yeah, this Carolina defense, man, has just been some ball hawks all night long. Nice deflection there by 28. Skippy Curtis there. And we've called her name several times, and man, she has basically been all over the field, along with Wyatt and King Seed and Hatley. You know, kudos to this secondary and the defensive coaching staff for Carolina.
Looking to throw Wigmore. Flip outside. Ackerman bobbles it. Not fumbles it, bobbles it. And it was almost picked off again.
Yeah, that was Skippy Curtis there in the vicinity. And she said, telling him, look at the scoreboard, buddy. You know, but I think Skippy should have came away with that interception there.
4th down and 2. If you're Baltimore, you have no chance of winning this game if you don't get this 4th and 2. Your chances are slim anyways right now, but you need this one for sure. 3 receivers wide, split backs. Watch the 50X spot. They'll look to throw. It is X spot. They throw the outside to the other side, and that is caught. They made an adjustment there, and that receiver pulls it in. Makchima, 1st down.
Yeah, that zig route on that 50X spot, man, is probably one of the hardest plays to defend. But if you time it correctly, you can basically jump that route and get a pick on it. But a lot of teams here in the SFL love that particular play because of that zig route. You go in and then you bounce it right back outwards, basically confuse the secondary, that cornerback that's over you, and you can just leave them in one side of the field while you're on the outside there.
Empty backfield for Wigmore. 20 of 38 tonight throws, and that one's caught. That's the 21st catch of the night for Baltimore, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, this time David Anderson finally gets himself a reception on the night there here late in the 4th quarter.
Looking to throw again. Flip across the middle. Slant route caught. Ackerman, 7 more. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Carolina is just 2 minutes away from knocking off the top team in the SFL.
I mean, anytime you can hold Ivy Irvin under 19 yards, under 20 yards, 3 targets, only 2 receptions, I mean, your defense is doing something pretty good.
Wigmore, 5-step drop, pumps, and is sacked! Phil Hall buries him.
So look at Phil Hall, one of the nice rip right there on 77. And Phil Hall basically takes down Wigmore at ease. Not a single receiver over 100 yards here for Baltimore. And the receiver that's leading the team is the tight end, Caesar Ackerman, at 72 yards.
3 receivers wide. Nickel look out of Carolina. Out route is caught. Damon Ackerman also had that 37-yard catch. If you take that away, there's no receiver over 50. So Baltimore is just one play with a receiver over 50.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It just goes to show the defensive game plan that Carolina put together was basically a great game plan, you know? I mean, because we've normally seen this Baltimore offense put up big numbers, especially in their receiver core.
Yep.
I've seen where they had, all 3 receivers had over 100 yards in a game before.
Wigmore fires, corner route, tipped away, incomplete. What a play by Davidson Joseph on the outside.
Yeah, you're right. Davidson, here's a look at it here. Nice deflection there. If he tips that thing to 47, this game is over.
Damon, that was on 4th down, so this game is over. Carolina takes over at the 17.
And Carolina's basically going to probably run the ball here, try to milk this clock, but Baltimore does have all 3 timeouts, as they really don't need to call the timeouts, but they're going to call the timeouts anyway.
Travis Warren is in, and Warren will take the handoff right up the gut. Baltimore uses their 2nd timeout.
DJ Woods is asking, is he in the Matrix? I'm not sure if he just came in, but if you just came in, no, you're not in the Matrix, sir. This is real life, and this is what's happening. Carolina is beating the Baltimore Vultures 33-10.
And likely will beat the Vultures 33-10. The amount of time left, the amount of timeouts that Baltimore has, I'm not sure they get the ball back with much time, Damon. Cheesy Pizza flips it outside. Ike McBride, a carry, or a run, on the screen, and she'll pick up another couple yards.
Yeah, basically out there on that screen route there. Stacking paper, able to bring it down after picking up 6.
And Ike McBride tonight, what a night, Damon. 170 on the ground, another 55 through the air. That's 225.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. 170 on the ground, 29 attempts. Here's Hanzo, picks up the 1st down.
That's Travis Warren, the backup, made it happen.
Oh, wow.
And Rochelle Colston is showing her love to Carolina with a $10 chat.
Carolina's all in on the donations tonight.
I tell you what, Damon, if I'm Cam, I'm wishing they won more often. They are in a celebratory mood. And how can you blame them? Baltimore comes in 8-1, the perennial leader in the playoff race, the team that all teams kind of look up to try and beat in a season like season 20. And Carolina just tonight dominates them. There's no other word.
Yeah, they absolutely did. Carolina's going to move on to 5-5 now. Basically put them right at 500 here in that playoff race as we're getting to the thick of things. 2 weeks left here in the SFL. Some teams only have 1 game left. Some teams still have 2 games left on the season.
Well, Damon, the championship is not won here in Week 12, but your seed in the playoffs certainly can determine who you play, and that can win or lose you the championship. So this game may seem inconsequential, as Baltimore will still be 8-2 and headed to the playoffs, but I'm here to tell you that it certainly can make a difference.
Yeah, you're right. And as Carolina get this win here, and they are going as stated, going right at 500, 5-5. They win next week, 6-5. Week after that, 7-5. That becomes very, very interesting. And if they can win out, I probably can most definitely say that they would most definitely have a shot at making a playoff at 7-5 due to this victory right here, because this is going to change a lot of things for Carolina.
Yeah, their strength of victory skyrockets, and for the first time since season 16, Carolina beats Baltimore. The Vultures fall to the Skyhawks here in Raleigh 33-10. If you're just tuning in and wondering what the heck just happened, Carolina from start to finish, opening whistle to end whistle, ran away with it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Carolina basically manhandled the Baltimore Vultures tonight. You stated they took off at the beginning of this game and did not take their foot off the gas when it got to the final whistle here. They were all gas, no brakes tonight for the Carolina Skyhawks, and I mean that heartily. You know, you're looking at the replays here of tonight's game. You don't see much of Baltimore happening here in this game. Basically, the defense of Carolina came to play. I stated earlier in the broadcast that they put on the no-fly zone performance here, as they came away with 6 interceptions on Wigmore tonight. Very unheard of. Was it 6 or 7? I think it was 7 interceptions. Yeah, it was 7 he had for the entire game. Wow.
Damon, Baltimore now lost twice in the regular season. Did that in season 18, but they have not lost a third game in the regular season since season 16. And if they do that, their chance of winning the championship goes way down according to their history. They've won 3 championships after losing just 2. They've only won 1 after losing just 3, and their playoff record, losing 3 or more, is way worse than when they have just lost 1 or 2. So this kind of opens them up here over the next 2 weeks as they try and get into that playoff mode.
Yeah, you're right. You most definitely want to get into playoff mode right now, as most teams are already in playoff mode because it's do or die for them. And here's a look at our player of the game.
Ike McBride had it. This game tying Baltimore's worst franchise loss, and part of that reason was Ike McBride running all over him. For Damon Simeon, for Cameron Irvine, for Ike McBride, as well as Juan Mississippi on stats, I'm Andy Hamilton. Thank you, and good night from Raleigh. We'll see you in Week 13.
See you when we see you. Peace.